everyone. I'm going to do a little routine using balls. So regulars will know that we've used the red ball before. We've got the red balls which are not fully inflated, so they're a little bit squidgy. They're a 9-inch, very popular. People do like to use the balls, nice on your back, can be quite challenging. However, recently we've introduced a bigger ball. So this one is a 12-inch and it's actually much firmer. So actually it's quite tough. So I'm not the best at doing this because we've only really started using it before the lockdown. So you might have to bear with me. We are hiring out our equipment, so rollers, balls, weights, bands, anything that you might want if you're within the vicinity of the studio, around Dumfries or just outside. So let me know if you want anything, or I can send you a price list if you want to think about it. We're doing it on a monthly basis, so see what Boris says. Hopefully we might be starting to plan our timetable to get back to normal as much as possible anyway in June. Anyway, so popping the red ball to the side, we have got a few routines on YouTube. We're using the red ball, but today I'm going to use the grey one. So as I said, it's much firmer, a little bit harder. We're going to try and balance a little bit on the ball. So the first one we're going to do is your leg pull. Make sure you're warmed up. You can do your roll down using the red ball or the grey ball between your knees as you do your roll down to squeeze. So it's really quite good to make sure you're engaging your core, you're using your pelvic floor and your inner thighs. So we're then going to pop the ball between your knees and come up onto hands and knees. So if you've done a roll down as your warm up, just come straight down onto your mat into tabletop. Have the ball between the knees, just touching the floor. Now if you can, tuck your toes under. If you can't, don't worry, you can just do this with your feet flat. So I'll show you both options. The first option is your toes tucked under if your toes will allow. Lightly squeeze the ball, lift your knees, but don't come up too high. So you don't want to be right up there. Your shins should be parallel to the mat, and then pulse the ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. So that you're squeezing the ball with your inner thighs. Now, if you haven't got a Pilates ball, I'm sure you're bound to have something, particularly if you've got your grandchildren around the house, that would suffice. You can always let a little bit of air out. But if it's firm, as long as you can get a bit of a pulse to it, it'll do. So if you struggle with your toes, or got arthritic toes, or just not happy coming up onto the toes, you can still keep your knees on the floor and still pulse the ball by squeezing and releasing. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really good exercise for getting into this part. So SI joint issues, perfect exercise for that. Excellent. Now let's move the ball down between your ankles and come down onto your front. If you can, just get your ankles up onto the top of the ball. Tuck your elbows in underneath your shoulders, hands one on top of the other. We're going to try a leg pull. So this is quite tough. Engage your tummy, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your hips and legs off the mat and hold. And breathe. Draw the shoulders down, tuck your chin in and hold. Watch for the hips lifting or dropping. A little bit longer. Oh, and then rest. Whew, that's a toughie. Keep the ball between your ankles, rest back into child pose. Keeping the ball where it is, come back down onto your front. Slip your hands underneath your forehead, rest your head on the hands. Holding the ball between your ankles, but not actually having the ball off the floor. Start again, Jane. Resting your feet on the floor. So get your feet up off the floor, but the ball touches the mat. So this time squeeze your bum. Breathe in, engage your tummy. As you breathe out, lift your legs and lower. Breathe out. Breathe in. Last two. Last one. Ooh. Okay, bring the ball and pop it above your head. So I'm just going to shuffle down the mat a little bit. Now I want you to pop your hands either side of the ball. We're going to do swan dives. If you've used the red ball for these, you normally put your hands on the top, which you could still do the same with the grey ball. Take your legs wide, head down. So the red ball option is to press in and lift up. But with the grey ball, because that is a bit bigger, just put your hands either side. Now make sure you get your little fingers to hold the ball as well as the thumb and the rest of the fingers. Lift your elbows and lift the chest. Hold and breathe in, roll down. So the ball doesn't move quite as freely as the red one or when you've got your hands on the top. So keep all the fingers and thumbs on the ball. Squeeze your buttocks, lift. Draw the shoulders down, hold and breathe in, lower. And again, squeeze and lift. And lower. One more. And down. Now to make it more challenging, bring your feet closer together, but still slightly apart, and we'll do a bit of swimming. So breathe in. As you breathe out, lift ball and legs. Breathe in, lower. Lift. And lower. And 4. Now you might want to pulse the ball between your hands, like we did when we had it between the knees. So lift and then squeeze the ball in and out with your hands. And lower. And repeat. Probably 10 little squeezes, 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out. You could add the legs if you wanted to. The legs go up and down, alternating. So squeeze. And then rest. So to finish my sentence there, squeezing your bum to keep the hips still as your legs go up and down, pulsing the ball in and out with your arms. You can do the other way around if you want to, but that's tough. Let's try it again, shall we? So lift, squeeze and pulse the legs. Whew, warm now. Should we do one more? Lift and pulse. And release your back. Oh, that feels nice. So don't let the ball wander off and into cat stretch. Just so bending the spine back the opposite way. And then let the tummy drop, lift the chin, look up. And then release. Lovely. Now we're going to sit and pop the ball behind us and lean back onto it. So it's actually about where your ribs are. Resting onto the ball, legs bent, feet flat. Pop your hands behind the head just to support your head. Make sure you're in neutral. So not letting your body bend or curve, but just pressing your ribs gently into the ball and then just slide one leg out, draw it back and change. Use your tummy to keep your body as still as possible. One more time. So that's a relatively easy option. So let's make it a little bit harder. Lift the knee, extend, lower and draw it back. So lift, extend, lower and replace. Lift, extend, lower and replace. Try to keep yourself as still as you can while resting on the ball. You could flex the foot to lower the leg down, Give yourself a little bit more stretch into your hamstrings. Now, as you're in this position, you can see what your legs are doing. So try and be a bit more specific with your movements and precise. So trying to lower the leg without letting it wobble from side to side or weave from side to side. Last two. Keep the ball as still as you can underneath you. You could do this on a bigger ball if you wanted to. It doesn't specifically have to be 12 inches in diameter. It just happens to be what we've got. Whew, that was quite tough. Okay, take the ball out, stretch your abs out. Really feeling it in my lower abdominals after that. Popping the ball this time underneath your ribs. Just bend the bottom leg, stretch your top leg out. Pop your hand behind your head or hold it out in front. Other hand goes to your thigh. So this is called to work your obliques, side lying obliques. You press your ribs into the ball. It's a tiny movement as you reach the hand down the side of your leg. Two more. Then pop your hand behind your head, but don't let the elbow rest on the floor. Reach the other arm up and again reach towards the ceiling. So still working into the waist. You can do this with any size of ball. Does work with the 9-inch one, not quite as well, but it can be done. Last two. Oh, really feeling that. And rest. Whew. Push yourself up. And just do a little mermaid stretch, taking the ball over your head. And come back down. Still supporting the head with the hand, other hand on the floor in front. You could do all your side kick exercises with the ball. Challenges your upper body, lets you know whether your upper body is moving forward and back. Really feeling that now. Around here, especially from the last one. And then rest it down. Oh, that was tough. Okay, let's do the other side. So pop the ball underneath your ribs. Arm out in front, hand to your thigh. Or hold your head with your hand. So you're doing your basic side lying obliques. Bottom leg is bent. The ball is underneath your ribs, not your waist or in your armpit. You could hold the arm out in front of you if you want to. But it's a tiny movement from here. You're just pressing your ribs into the ball. So pushing the rib cage down towards the hip on the side of the body. Think of that hand sliding down the leg. Okay, then hold the head, arm up, reach the arm towards the ceiling. Feel the burn. It should feel like somebody's sticking their finger into your waist. Tiny, tiny little movements. These are the hardest. And then rest. Whew. Hand to the floor, lift the leg and forward and back. Again, it really makes you aware of whether you are rolling into the ball or rolling forward as your leg moves. So when you go back to doing it again on the mat, you'll be aware of being or keeping yourself a little bit more stable because you feel yourself rock and push into the ball. And then sit up, hold the ball and into your mermaid stretch. And release. Excellent. Okay, well done. Let's try shoulder bridge. With the red ball, they're a bit squidgy, so they're quite hard to control. So the grey ball, being that little bit firmer and a little bit bigger, we can use it like we would do the big stability ball for your bridge, which is to pop your feet onto the ball, hands down by your side, squeeze your legs together, tilt the pelvis, squeeze your buttocks and lift your hips into bridge. And then roll it down slowly. Really tricky to do with the red one, the smaller one. So this is that little bit easier. Really gets into the hamstrings and your bum. And roll it down. Nice and slowly. Try and get as much tilt into the pelvis and work your bum as you can. But if you feel that you're struggling and you're just going up and down, that's okay. It still works your buttocks and your hamstrings. And down. You might want to try working your hammies a little bit more. Come up, hold, roll the ball away, draw it back, and then roll back down slowly. Or stay up there and roll it out again. Let's try it again, shall we? Quite hot. Lift, hold, roll, bring it back, and roll it down. Oh, bit of a wobble there. 4 times is enough for this option. 2 more to go. So lift, hold, roll, back, and lower down. Oh, hamstrings are starting to object a little. Once more. Roll, back, and down. Oh, hip flexor stretch needed after that. So one knee in, one leg out. And change legs. And release. Whew, really felt that in those hamstrings, so good stretch needed. Now using band magic circle or just doing your normal hamstring stretch with spine stretch. So legs out the front, feet mat width apart, sit up tall and reach forward. Grab hold of your feet, your heels or your ankles and gently pull. Really gives it a nice stretch of the back of the legs and into your back. Well done everybody. That's just giving you a few ideas to add variety to your routines. If you've got a ball around the house, give it a go. Beach ball would do the same thing. If you want to hire a ball, let me know. Take care everyone. Remember to subscribe to our site if you haven't, our channel if you haven't already done so. Just click the button below. See you soon. Bye.